he should have did a little more research, and I think that was distasteful because now MJ and his family. I think Kevin Durant should apologize for this, to be honest with you, because MJ and his family got to hear this shit right here, and you shouldn't have to do that to MJ to try to build up LeBron. And I think that's kind of whack. That Kevin Durant said he's a student of the game. But how did you not know this information to say what you just said?
Years in, I got 4 MVPs and 4 championships. Like, but do I still want to do this shit? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
You know how hard it is.
Some people say, I want to go play baseball.
Right?
Yeah. And then I want to come back. Or some people say, I'm going to go 22 straight.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time. That's what I felt.
It didn't kick off with some giant headline or a bold viral post. It started with a laugh. LeBron James cracking up on the Mind the Game podcast right as Kevin Durant slipped in a smooth little jab at Michael Jordan. And that single laugh flipped the whole internet on its neck. KD dropped that line so calm, you'd swear he was talking about a casual pickup game at the park, not poking at a legend. He delivered it with that tiny smirk he gets when he's about to stir things up. And LeBron leaned back and let out a loud laugh that hit like a grenade. And in that second, a whole generation of NBA fans suddenly realized something sharp. 2 of the biggest stars in today's game had just taken a subtle swipe at the man whose blueprint they're still benefiting from. But what came after that little moment? That's when everything went crazy. Kwame Brown, the former #1 pick who built his whole second career calling out people who pretend to be tough, stepped in with no hesitation and set the whole situation on fire. No filters, no sugarcoating, just straight-up raw truth that cut straight through the noise. To understand why his reaction exploded the way it did, you gotta rewind and look closely at Mind the Game. Is it really a basketball IQ platform, or is it a polished setup running a different mission altogether? When LeBron and KD launched the show, they promised real hoop talk, strategy, and grown conversation. But anyone who's watched more than a couple episodes knows the real vibe. This show feels like LeBron's legacy protection plan dressed up as a masterclass. The episode that set off this whole storm was supposed to be about commitment and longevity, but KD couldn't help himself. He tossed out that baseball joke, clearly targeting Jordan, and LeBron's loud laugh didn't just add to the moment. It exposed exactly what they were doing. This wasn't deep hoop talk.
It's ironic that LeBron James say he wondered if somebody worked hard, but he's been in the league for 22, 23 years, and he still is haunted by his mid-range game. He still is haunted by being able to go right and pull up on balance. When you listen to Steve Nash and you listen to Kevin Durant talk, Kevin Durant is like cut from that cloth that MJ and Kobe is cut from, because they try to cover up every hole in their game. They don't feel satisfied until they cover up every hole in their game. And LeBron has not only had a media machine behind marketing him as the king, but he's also had a NBA, a league that put pieces around him to hide every hole he had. He's telling you that I have holes, I have problems going right. And when they sit and they discuss, Steve Nash said in one of these clips, he said, the defense is geared towards stopping you from getting to the basket. It's taken away from getting to the basket in the playoffs. So if guys can't shoot mid-range jump shots, they cannot win a championship. That's what Steve Nash said. And that's why I said LeBron didn't have a big bag, because when you get to that level, when you get to the playoff, ain't no more going to the basket.
This was a subtle attempt to reshape the story, to shade Jordan just enough so LeBron's resume feels a little cleaner. And that is exactly the moment that pulled Kwame Brown right into the spotlight with his viral response. But before you even get to Kwame's words, you gotta understand who LeBron and KD really are behind the stats, because once you see their history, Kwame's whole message lands way harder. Let's be real about it. Kevin Durant has a whole track record that fans never forget. The man joined the same squad that knocked him out in 2016 when he was up 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals and couldn't close the door when it mattered most. Weeks later, he's rocking a Golden State jersey next to Steph Curry and Draymond Green, a move that changed the whole league and still gets talked about today because it showed how KD reacts when the pressure hits for real. And just like that, KD starts stacking rings without walking through the long grind. No building, no struggling, just stepping into a polished winning system that was already cooking. And LeBron? His pattern speaks even louder. Cleveland to Miami when things got tight. Miami back to Cleveland when that Heat run started aging out. Cleveland to LA once the roster wasn't as strong and pieces started falling apart. It wasn't about loyalty, it was basketball politics mixed with brand strategy. all wrapped in moves that always kept him in comfortable situations. When Kyrie left, and Kevin Love wasn't the same, things shifted quick.
7-time All-Star, an MVP of the league, Kevin Durant. And how that whole process went.
It's been hectic. It's a lot of attention that comes with being in this position, and I knew that. And when I met these guys, I felt as comfortable as I ever felt, and it was organic. It was authentic. It was real.
And now there are even whispers he might dip again if he feels like the help isn't there. This isn't the story of pure commitment. It's a career shaped around control, timing, and keeping the brand spotless. So when Kwame Brown calls them roadrunners, he isn't trying to be funny. That label fits. Every time things get rough, they run toward the smoother road. And that contrast, their style versus Jordan's long grind, is why so many older fans feel a certain type of way about this whole situation. But even all that history wasn't what lit the fire under Kwame the most. What pushed him over the edge was simple. That laugh, that tiny moment, that quick crack up crossed a deeper line for a lot of people. It wasn't just joking around. To them, it felt like disrespect aimed at a man whose impact shaped the entire league they're thriving in today. Durant's little comment about MJ didn't just land, it shook the whole room the second it hit, and there's a reason it carried that kind of weight. People forget Jordan didn't just take a break from basketball. His father was murdered in 1993, and that loss crushed him in a way most people can't imagine. His biggest supporter, the man who pushed him, believed in him and rode with him through everything. Gone just like that. After winning 3 straight titles, Jordan didn't walk away to dodge pressure. He stepped back to honor a dream he shared with his father. Playing baseball wasn't some escape. It was a son trying to breathe again, trying to heal while picturing his dad watching from the stands. That's deep pain, not running from the grind. So when Durant tossed out that baseball line and LeBron leaned back with that grin, looking like someone who just watched a teacher clown a student, Kwame didn't just see immaturity. He saw straight-up disrespect. He said it clear. This is why MJ fans will never respect LeBron. He's too disrespectful. And for a lot of people, that hit the heart because it felt too real. Let's be honest. Jordan built the entire blueprint these two benefit from today. Sneaker culture, global superstardom, the idea of being a worldwide icon. He paved all of that.
I know that the first one was sweet, but how much sweeter was this one?
Well, I can't even put it in words. My father's like what it is to me. I know he's watching. To my wife, to my kids, to my mother, my brothers and sisters. This is my daddy. I'm very happy for you.
Now, you had said, Michael, that of all the accomplishments that you've made, that this may be the accomplishment. Why?
Well, this goes right up there to having my kids. My kids are the most important things to me, my wife, my family. But next to them, this is going to mean a lot to me because of what it symbolizes, which is my father on Father's Day. It means a big deal to me.
Now, you remember just a couple years ago that early flight to India?
Jordan didn't just take a break from basketball. His father was...
KD and LeBron wouldn't be sitting anywhere near billionaire status without the foundation MJ laid down brick by brick. And instead of honoring that legacy, they giggled like it was some throwaway joke. But then Kwame took it further and dropped a prediction that should make both of them look over their shoulder. He said that when they retire, the disrespect coming their way will be something they've never seen before. It wasn't a threat, it sounded like a prophecy. Because here's what today's stars forget. Once your era fades and the league doesn't need you to push merch or drive streaming numbers, that same media machine that hyped you up will flip the switch without thinking twice. Just look at Charles Barkley. Look at Scottie Pippen. Look at Allen Iverson. Once the spotlight moves on, the praise fades, and all that's left are your receipts. And for KD and LeBron, those receipts are messy enough to keep them awake at night. What happens when the young stars of tomorrow study their careers the same way people break down Jordan's? What happens when those future players start clowning LeBron for switching teams like a traveling salesman? What happens when they point at KD and say he only won inside a system that was already ready-made? That day is coming. And when it arrives, that little podcast laugh will look tiny next to the debates they're about to face. And to see just how deep this could cut, look at how these legends are remembered right now. Jordan still gets respect everywhere, from older fans to kids who never saw a single live game of his. Meanwhile, KD and LeBron spend half their time trying to protect their legacies like they're guarding a house in a storm. Ask yourself this: have you ever seen Jordan argue for his greatness? Never. He doesn't jump on Instagram Live yelling about narratives. He doesn't go on shows begging for the GOAT title. He doesn't need a podcast to back him up. His work handled that already.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a contract I feel like you got to have with yourself too, in order for you to be a, great ball player or to have a long career. That's the goal, to be in the league for 20 years. I tell you, that's the goal.
KD out here rolling on with a whole burner account squad, jumping into online arguments with random kids, while Jordan's got an actual statue standing tall outside an arena. That contrast is wild to look at. LeBron's running a podcast, KD's dropping long think pieces, but Jordan, he's cemented into basketball history like a monument that's not moving for anybody. One man is locked into greatness forever, and the other two are still fighting for validation like they're trying to convince the room they belong at the same table. That's why their little jabs at Jordan feel so off, because they're swinging at someone who never begged for respect, never asked for a title, never tried to talk himself into greatness. He earned his spot through pain, dominance, and a competitive fire that shifted the whole culture. And the more KD and LeBron try boosting themselves by pushing Jordan down, the more it reveals something uncomfortable. They're not just shaping legacies, they're shaping the truth itself. This whole mind. The game situation stopped being about hoop IQ a long time ago. It's legacy polishing, plain and simple. The legacy illusion, rewriting history while hoping the game forgets what it already saw. LeBron didn't build that show just for deep basketball talk. He built it to guide the narrative, to stay ahead of every debate about where he ranks all time. And look at the timing. Every time the talks heat up about his place in history, suddenly there's an episode about more skill today, or rings don't define greatness, or Jordan had help too. That's not analysis, that's strategy. And KD, he's the perfect co-pilot for this mission. He's been frustrated with the media for years, hates feeling misunderstood, hates when people question his decisions. So teaming up to reshape the storyline fits him like a custom suit. But here's the real issue. You can polish a story, but you can't erase the receipts. The tapes are there. The numbers are there. The collapses are there. I'm taking my talents to South Beach isn't disappearing. That blown 3-1 lead KD had in 2016, that's stamped forever. You can't out-talk what the game already wrote in ink. And the more they try, the more it starts to feel like desperation. Like they can hear the clock ticking, and they're rushing to write their own ending before the next generation writes it for them. But the real story is already shaped. It's full of shortcuts, missed moments, and taking shots at legends who built their greatness without cutting corners. Kwame Brown said the part other people tiptoe around, and the craziest thing? He didn't need analytics, didn't need synergy clips, didn't need advanced numbers. He spoke straight from the gut, and it landed because deep down, everyone knows the truth. KD and LeBron, for all their talent, still struggle to honor the game the way the legends before them did. They don't know what it feels like to build through storms instead of switching teams for smoother situations. They don't know what it feels like to strengthen history instead of trying to rewrite it. And when they laughed at Jordan, that was the moment the line got crossed. Jordan never disrespected Magic, Bird, Kareem, or any icon who came before him. He built his legacy on top of theirs, not over it. And that's why his name still gets spoken with a different weight to this day. Meanwhile, KD and LeBron keep crafting legacies built on image control, strategy, and careful narrative maintenance. But like Kwame said, when retirement comes, when the cameras shut off, and those podcast mics go silent, that's when they'll finally understand what real disrespect feels like. Because once the hype machine isn't protecting them, the only thing left standing is their name. And Jordan's name? It still echoes across the world like a bell that never stops ringing. If you're rocking with the real story and not the polished PR version, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.